Hello, Shalom Aleichem, welcome back for another verse. This week we are doing Parshat Noach, the Torah portion of Noach that can be found in your Bibles, Genesis 6:9 through 11:32. This video is being prepared for the reading cycle of the year 5779, for the Jewish year 5779. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. If you like or have benefited from our efforts, I would wish you would consider contributing. You can find in the comments below links to my Patreon page as well as links to my PayPal account. Also, there will be some various products that I will occasionally reference in the comments below. And I would appreciate you clicking through, and if any of that interests you, purchase, as that will also go towards the production of these videos, buying new equipment and whatnot. Okay, without further ado, let us begin. Parshat Noach. Okay, so I'm picking one verse a week. That is the format. This week I have picked the verse Genesis 6:14. So let me read it here in the Hebrew for you. Aseh lecha tevat atze gofer, hinim ta'aseh et hateva, v'kafarta oisa mebait u michutz ba'kofer. One more time. Aseh lecha tevat atze gofer, kinim ta'aseh et hateva, v'kafarta ota mebait u michutz ba'kofer. Okay, so last time I indicated that a good way to go would be to try to, before we get into who's doing the talking or who's doing the acting in this in any particular verse, as relatively fresh students to the study of Hebrew, it's good to try to identify the nouns. The nouns do not have as extreme a morphology as do the verbs. The verbs will change very much depending on the conjugation, whereas the nouns will not change that much. So it's good to nail down what is a little more solid before we get on to things that might not look the same in every sentence we see. Okay, so the first thing we would like to do is look at the direct object particle, et. Now, from last time, if you remember, I told you that this word et indicates that there's a verb, there's an actor in the sentence doing something to an object. Okay, and an object's going to be a noun, and you're going to also see that it can be a pronoun also. So let's go through the sentence and look for the direct object particles. Okay, so first line we don't see. Here we go, et. So here's something, et ha-teva. Okay, so we have an et, and we have this word, ota, ota. So this ota is really et as well. It's et with a pronoun suffix attached to it. So let's go back. Et hateva, we learned that the hey, the prefix hey, is the definite article the. So et ha, so the verb is being done directly to something definite. Okay. Ota, the direct object is being done to some pronoun. We learn here this pronoun suffix is her or it. So this is the hey with the dot inside, the dagesh. It's hey or it. Okay? So et hateva and ota. Okay, let's go down some more. Vav is and. So we see lots of vav. Well, we don't see lots of vavs. We see a couple of vavs. We see the vav here. Va kafarta and u michutz. So this is going to be an and this is going to be an and. It's and as a prefix. Vav is a prefix. Okay. Further, we see the preposition. Okay, so let's go to the actual nouns. Et hateva. Et hateva. Come down here. The teva in Hebrew means an ark or a box. It can also mean a basket, but typically it's going to be ark or a box. Typically it's going to be a box, but in this instance, it's traditional to call it an ark. I don't know why it is traditionally called an ark. Whatever the case, it's an ark. Okay, so we go up here. So et hateva, direct object is the ark. Okay, and ota, direct object is her or it. Okay, so we'll have to see whether there's a her or an it in this thing, in this sentence, in this verse. Okay, fine. So teva, if we look over here, we'll see if it ends in a hey. And that indicates that it's going to be a feminine word. 9 times out of 10, if it ends in a hey, it's going to be a feminine word. So ota refers to it. We have et hateva, and instead of writing et hateva again, the author writes ota, and it's referring back to the teva, it, and it's a matched gender agreement. The hey makes it feminine, and then therefore we use the pronoun suffix hey with a dagesh. Okay, now let us go a little bit further and look at some other instances here. Asa aseh lecha. So the lamed is a preposition of 2 or 4. Okay? 2 or 4. And the chaf, the ender chaf here, the chaf sofit, is the object suffix u. Happens to be a masculine u here. Aseh lecha. So this would be for yourself or to yourself. Now we have again this word teva, which meant ark. Tevat. Here I'm slipping into Ashkenazis again, I'm sorry. Tevat atze gofer. So in the previous lesson for Bereshit, I mentioned this form called smichos form. And I mentioned that the smichos form that appears over there is a little non-normative. Nevertheless, it wasn't smichut form. Over here, this is a little more normative smichut form. We have a noun, teva. Okay, so I could write long form, teva shel atze gofer, but I can sort of contract it by leaning the word over onto atze gofer and saying tevat. So instead of saying teva shel atze gofer, I say tevat atze gofer. Now atze gofer, of course, comes from the Hebrew word you may know, eitz, which means wood or tree, and it itself is also in smichut form. This would be atzim, woods, pieces of wood, gopher, of this tree called the gopher tree. So Tevat Atze Gofer is sort of a double smichot form. You have Tevat, which leans over here on Atze Gofer, and Atz, which would be Etim. It is shortened, the mim falls out, and it leans onto Gofer. So Tevat Atze Gofer, a ark of gopher wood. The identification of what kind of wood gopher is up to a lot of the discussion. A lot of different theories. There's a very interesting Wikipedia article that refers to most of the major scholarship that tries to identify this type of wood. So just look up gopher wood in Wikipedia, and it will send you to various articles if you're into that sort of thing. Okay, so L'cha tevat atze gofer. You should make. I just let the cat out of the bag. Asa means make. Make for yourself, l'cha, for yourself, tevat atze gofer, a ark of gopher wood. Okay. What else is going on over here? Okay. Kinim is not a word that you need to focus on, but it really means compartmentalized, with compartments. Kinim, like rooms. Kinim, or stalls, you could say. Kinim ta'aseh et hateva. With rooms, or with stalls, or compartmentalized, ta'aseh et hateva. Ta'aseh means you shall make. Et hateva. You shall make the teva. Okay. Now here and see what else I got. Okay. Now we have the kafarta ota. The word kafar means to cover, to cover something. And this is also a play, potentially a play on words, but an author, kafarta ota mebait umechutz bekofer. Kofer is the word for pitch, pine tar, pitch. So kafarta could also mean, could be a verb form of the word pitch, which in that case it would mean to smear, to pitch it, to smear the vessel, the teva, with pitch. Kafarta ota mebait umechutz. So bait means house, and or can mean inside, and chutz means outside, and the mem means from. Let's go back up. Mebait, and you should basically smear it or cover it. Kafarta ota, you should cover it. Direct object, particle here, the et, and then the pronounal suffix ota. You should cover it. Me from bite, from the inside, meaning the inner part of the boat, the ark. U and mechutz, and from the outside. Ba with kofer, with pitch. Okay, so that is that. Let me see if I missed any words over here that I thought were important at this point for you. Looks like we got all of them. Okay, so just to read it through, aseh lecha, you should make for yourself tevat atze gofer, a teva, a ark of, because it's the smichot form, ark of atze gofer, again in smichot form. We have a kind of a double here. So a boat of gopher wood. Kinim ta'aseh et hateva, compartmentalized. Kinim ta'aseh et hateva, you shall make the teva. V'kafarta ota, and you should cover it or pitch it. Mebait, from the inside, from the house, from the inside. And mechutz, from chutz, the outside. B'kofer, with pitch. Okay, let's run down to look at the verbs a little bit. In the previous video, I had attempted to do some intro on stems and whatnot. I decided to not pursue that because I think it's already probably a lot for a new student, and I will be making a video series devoted strictly to grammar. So it's enough for you just to sort of start getting the roots and to just start getting a sense, you see how they operate. Aseh is the shorish for the root ein sin. This is a sin, hey, and it means do or make. So aseh, and this is, just to let you know, this is in the imperative form. Aseh lecha, make le, for cha, yourself, make for you, essentially, make for you, which we would say make for yourself. Tevat atze gofer kinim. Okay, so then we see here the same shorish, the same root, asa, aseh, aseh, aseh. See, we see the same shorish, but it looks different because it's got this letter in the front. So the general rule that you should take upon yourself, you should just sort of acquaint yourself with this this pattern, is if it has a prefix, it's typically going to be in the future tense. So ta'aseh means you shall make. So aseh, imperative, you shall make, or make, and ta'aseh, you shall make. Okay, and here's the other theme. Kafar means to cover, I said. This shorish means to cover. And if something has a suffix, you see here a suffix, kafarta, it would be past tense. Past tense. So kafarta means you covered. But how do we translate it? I translated Atze lecha tevat atze gofer. Make for yourself a ark of gopher wood. Kinim ta'aseh et teva. Compartmentalized, you shall make the teva. V'kafarta ota mebaitz umechutz b'kofer. And you shall cover it. And you shall cover it. But this is in a past form. Kafarta. It has the suffix at the suffix at the end. Typically, we expect future tense verbs to be with a prefix in the front. So kafarta. So it looks like a past tense. So biblical Hebrew has this odd feature that did not really survive into modern Hebrew, called the vav hahipuk, or the vav reversive. The vav reversive, or the vav hahipuk, whenever it is attached, so typically it means and, but as long as if the nakudas are the proper nakudot, if the vowel is proper in certain situations, then the vav actually flips the tense of the verb, so it goes from being past tense to future tense. So for kafarta, if it was just be by itself, kafarta, that would be you covered it. And vakafarta, which means you shall cover it. You shall cover it. Okay, so again, aseh lecha tevat ate gofer. You should make for yourself a teva of ate gofer, of gopher wood. Kinim ta'aseh et teva. compartmentalized, or with rooms, you shall make the teva, v'kafarta ota, and you shall cover it, mibait u'mechutz, from the inside and from the outside. You shall cover it with kofer, with pitch. Pitch is like pine tar. Okay, so that's that. So here's my translation. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood, compartmentalized. You shall make the ark, and you shall cover it inside and out with pitch. That is my translation. So let's look at some other translations and see what they did with it. KJV, King James. Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Rooms shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within, without, with pitch. Okay, not so bad. It's not so clear the kinim are rooms, but it's not so bad. Okay, NIV. So make yourself an ark of cypress wood, make rooms in it, and cover it with pitch inside and out. Well, they're missing words. So it should say make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in it, but you shall make rooms in the ark. So the original Hebrew says Taseh et hateva, kinim taseh et hateva. Compartmentalize it with rooms, shall you make the teva. And they take this word, this phrase, et hateva, and turn it into it. Okay, and coat it with pitch inside and out. That's decent otherwise. Okay, so my biggest qualm here is that though the meaning of the verse remains the same, they have dropped some words out. Also, they've identified cypress as the gopher tree. Then this is again controversial. Things that are hard to know, I prefer not to attribute. Gopher sounds that Gimel, Fei, Resh, Gopher sounds similar to cypress. CPR. Sounds similar to it, so they are making an attribution based on certain scholarship. So, which is fine. They very well might be right, and they very well might be wrong about the identification of the type of wood. Okay, let's go further. In our SV, make yourself an ark of cypress wood. Okay, make for yourself. Make yourself. So for is optional. Make for yourself an ark of cypress wood. Make rooms in the ark. Okay, see, they don't call it an it. They say the ark, and cover it inside and out with pitch. Okay, all together a fairly a solid translation. Let's go further. JPS, the Jewish Publication Society version. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make it an ark with compartments. Okay, they sort of invert that sentence. We see the original verse was kinim taseh et hateva, so they have just inverted it. So instead of saying compartmentalize, you shall make the ark, they say make it an ark with compartments. Okay, and cover it inside and out with pitch. Okay, altogether a reasonable translation. When I translate, I try to preserve as much of the sentence structure from the Hebrew as possible. But people make sometimes that's not possible. And sometimes people have different aesthetic reasons for why they translate one way or another. Okay, let's look at the stone, the Art Scroll Chumash. Make for yourself an ark. So for yourself an ark of gopher wood. Okay, that's reasonable. Make the ark with compartments. So they, again, invert the sentence, much like the JPS did. to have compartments here. Again, the Hebrew here is kinim tasa et teva. You should make it with you should compartmentalized or roomed. Shall you make the teva? Meaning it should have rooms. So they made a stylistic choice to render it this way, and cover it inside and out with pitch, and that is reasonable. So all in all, I say the NRSV, the JPS, and Stone give reasonable translations. The KJV gives is reasonable. It's fine. So I have problems with the NIV here because it takes the word etateva and calls it an it. It puts a pronoun into the sentence whenever there is not. They chose stylistic concerns. They did not want to be overly repetitious with the arc. They chose style over a direct rendering. Okay, all in all, not the worst thing, but my style in translating is I like to give as much of the original as possible, at least a flavor of the original. Okay, I hope I was not too long in the tooth there. I hope you'll join me next week for another verse. And God willing, our concepts will come across different concepts, and we will all grow together. Okay, again, if you have not already subscribed, please go ahead and do so. If you feel that you're benefiting from these videos, I would appreciate any contributions that you might feel directed to make via PayPal, which you can find a link below, or my Patreon page. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me here or through the comments or on Facebook. Okay, thank you very much. Kol Tov, Hatzlacha Rabba. Keep learning.